Mr. Jackson, were you ever accused of having sexually molested Brett Barnes?
Won't answer that.
Michael Jackson is the biggest selling artist of all times.
And the winner is...
And the winner is...
And the winner is...
The winner is...
Michael Jackson.
Michael Jackson.
Michael Jackson.
Michael truly can be called the king of pop.
Because his album Bad is the first ever to generate 5 #1 singles. It's been #1 bestseller in record-breaking 25 countries around the world.
Sold about 65 million records.
However, Michael Jackson began singing at the age of 4, sacrificing a normal childhood for his career.
You knew someday you would be discovered.
Because we worked very hard. We practiced 5 hours a day.
When I was little, it was always work, work, work. It was always something to do, from one concert to the next. If it wasn't concert, it was the recording studio. If it wasn't that, it was TV shows or interviews or picture sessions.
You were Michael Jackson with hits. You all had so many hits, 4 hits in a row, and you were crying because you couldn't be like other kids.
There are times you want to play and have some fun. You know, the simple things that they so much take for granted. Having friends and slumber parties and buddies and just hanging out. Disneyland, amusement parks, arcade games. I adore all that stuff because when I was little, there was none of that for me. And that is why I think now, because I didn't have it then, I compensate for that.
Really?
I mean, when people wonder why I always have children around, because I find the thing that I never had through them.
Tell us more about how you see yourself.
How I see myself?
Yeah.
I try to be kind and generous and to people and to do what I think God wants me to do.
Tell me why you developed Neverland.
Because I wanted to have a place that I could create everything that I never had as a child.
Thousands of children he's invited to his 2,600-acre Neverland Ranch in California to play in his amusement park, visit his zoo, watch movies, play video games, and feast on their favorite foods.
So you see rides, you see animals, there's a movie theater, crocodiles, and every kind of tigers and lions, and we have busloads of kids who don't get to see those things. They come up, sick children, and enjoy it. I've helped many, many, many children, thousands of children. Cancer kids, leukemia kids.
Some children enjoyed the place so much they stayed there at night. The problem with this is that the kids slept in Michael's bedroom, with him inside.
But is it really appropriate for a 44-year-old man to share a bedroom with a child who is not related to him at all?
That's a beautiful thing.
As we sit here today, do you still think that it's acceptable to share your bed with children?
Of course. The most loving thing to do is to share your bed with someone.
Can you understand why people would worry about that?
Because they're ignorant. This is a guy trying to help heal a child. I'm sleeping in a sleeping bag on the floor. I gave him the bed.
Did you ever sleep in the bed with them?
No. But I have slept in the bed with many children. Of course, why not? If you're going to be a pedophile, if you're going to be Jack the Ripper, if you're going to be a murderer, it's not a good idea. That I'm not. I am not going to do anything sexual to a child. It's not where my heart is. I will slit my wrist first.
Difficult for me that Michael is my brother. I love him a great deal, but I cannot and I will not be a silent collaborator of his crimes against small innocent children.
Bizarre behavior that has now led him to be charged with sexually molesting a 13-year-old boy. If convicted, he could spend 20 years in prison.
In 1993, Jackson was accused of SA by 13-year-old Jordan Chandler, with the alleged incidents claimed to have occurred at his Neverland Ranch in Santa Barbara, California. Believing that Chandler had been manipulated by his parents to make the allegations for financial gain, Jackson agreed in January 1994 to settle the lawsuit for $23 million, with $5 million going to the family's lawyers. As Michael later realized, This proved to be a serious mistake.
And he told me that was the biggest mistake he ever made, was not fighting that till the end. And what it really did was it opened Pandora's box, because suddenly everybody on the planet began suing him.
As Michael Jackson unwittingly opened Pandora's box, the settlement led to more allegations and investigations, eventually resulting in his first arrest in 2000.
An arrest warrant for Mr. Jackson has been issued on multiple counts of child molestation.
If Michael Jackson's watching this right now, what's your message to him?
Get over here and get checked in. We would encourage him to turn himself in and cooperate with law enforcement. 12:05 today, Michael Jackson was taken into custody.
What happened when they arrested you? What did they do to you?
They were supposed to go in and just check fingerprints and do the whole thing that they do when they take somebody in. They manhandled me very roughly. My shoulder is dislocated literally. One time I asked to use the restroom, and they said, sure, it's right around the corner there. Once I went in the restroom, they locked me in there for like 45 minutes. They were crying on the phone, my employees. They said, if you saw your room, you would cry. I have stairs that go up to my bed. And they said, you can't even get up the stairs. The room is totally trashed. What they did was they made everybody that work at the property, they locked everybody out of the house. They had the whole house to themselves. They went into areas they weren't supposed to go into, like my office. They didn't have search warrants for those places, and they totally took advantage. And the room is a total wreck, they told me. And I don't think I want to see it.
After his arrest, Michael had 7 counts of child molestation, 2 counts of giving an intoxicant to commit a felony, plus later charges of conspiracy involving child abduction, false imprisonment, and extortion on his table. Having learned from his mistakes, Michael knew the only way to prove his innocence was to fight every allegation in court. And that's exactly what he did. Everything came down to this: can he win? Michael Jackson went on trial in Santa Maria, California. Judge Rodney Melville presided, banning cameras from the courtroom and allowing the prosecution to introduce past allegations, including the 1993 Chandler case. The prosecution painted Neverland Ranch as a lure for young boys. They claimed Jackson groomed children and manipulated their families. They called witnesses, including former employees and others who said they'd seen or experienced inappropriate behavior. Several defense witnesses testified they had spent significant time with Jackson, including overnight stays in his bedroom, and saw nothing inappropriate. They described activities like playing games, watching movies, and having pillow fights. Others said they believed the accuser's family was motivated by money, pointing to suspicious behavior, exaggerated praise, and even past false accusations. Some recounted giving the family financial help or gifts, only to later feel taken advantage of. After months of testimony, the jury deliberated for 32 hours over 7 days. At first, 9 voted to acquit, and 3 voted guilty. But by June 13, 2005, they unanimously found Jackson not guilty on all charges. Jurors called the prosecution's case weak, and this is how Michael Jackson managed to escape prison.